Welcome to another great edition here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Um, it's exciting, like as always, to have you here to discuss the game and then to bring you the best of content here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and do turn on notification. It's imperative that you turn on notification. We want to hear from you as well. Let us hear from you in the comment section. Let us hear what you have for us. If there's anything you disagree with us, let us hear from you. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. We'll get straight into it. Today, there's a lot more to talk about. There is a bit about Chelsea's pre-match analysis versus Crystal Palace that we haven't spoken about yet. We are yet to get into those details. And then we sorry. But yeah, let's go up and talk about Chelsea's pretty much analysis, everything that Chelsea have to do. So I want to walk you through 5 reasons, each 2 minutes breakdown of how Chelsea can beat Crystal Palace in there. So let us get straight into it. So first of all, Chelsea for the last few times, Chelsea has a very good record in terms of landing derbies playing against Crystal Palace. They tend to be getting their results, even when Chelsea aren't playing well, even when Roy Hodgson's men are playing particularly well and Chelsea are not. Chelsea tend to get a result and West Ham do not. And I think that that's a very good omen for Mauricio Pochettino and his boys. Also, in the last game against Aston Villa, where they were able to get the results and get that all important win, Mauricio Pochettino and his charges will be looking at building the momentum from there and then getting some good results from here. So we'll delve into it and we'll look at a few things. We'll look at Chelsea's build up against Aston Crystal Palace's blocks. We'll look at things like Chelsea's lack of intensity in recent times. We'll look at a few other things like the personnel that are going to be in the game. We'll look at what Chelsea can get on and off the field of play and how Chelsea are getting into this game. So if you remember, the last time Chelsea played in any game was a game against Aston Villa, and that was a very, very good win for Chelsea Football Club, given the pressure that they were under. And I keep on saying that for me, if you want to discuss Chelsea in the context of where they are coming, just wanting them to win or just thinking that they're supposed to win every game isn't the right way to look at it. You need to look at it in the general and holistic nature of how the games are going. Now, I've said several times that Mauricio Pochettino looks like he's a little bit downside in terms of tactics and managing and controlling games, especially when comparing to the young new managers that are coming. But then again, on the flip side, in terms of the general management of the team, I think it has been good. And yesterday, you listened to him in his pre-match press conference when he speaks about the injuries that the team has seen. He speaks about how 16 to 17 new players were brought into the team, and then the fact that the players are not young, but essentially it's the team that is young, and that makes sense because in a game of football, you need the psychosocial superiority, you need a telepathic relationship, and these things are only built over time. They are built when players who come from different walks of life, some come from South America, Africa, and the likes come together, and then they have a way where they learn their patterns and go together, make mistakes, and learn from each other and become better. And then you hone them into a machine. It's important, and it's a matter of time. So that you give it to Mauricio Pochettino. Albeit some of the games have just been soulless. Some of the games where Chelsea have lost one have been soulless. Some of them Mauricio Pochettino have lost them on the tactical board. They have failed to effect needed changes in controlling and managing games. And you ask yourself, how do you play in games like that? Some of the soulless games have been that Manchester United lost at Stamford Bridge, and then the other one against Liverpool, largely soulless against teams that are physical specimens, and that make it difficult for Chelsea to play the technical style of play that they want to play. So it's in the light of all of that context that we get into the tactical bits of Chelsea's game that are going to play tomorrow 8 p.m. Against Crystal Palace. We'll delve into that for you, and then we'll talk about all the other things that has to go on. So, like I said, tomorrow 8 p.m. We're expecting that Chelsea are going to line up the same lineup that Chelsea played with in the game against Aston Villa. Crystal Palace are missing a host of players. They're missing Eberechi Eze. They are missing Michael Olise. They are missing Abdullah Decore. They are missing Holden. They are missing Eze. Like I said, Chelsea, of course, Shaloba, Fofana, Marco Correa are all out of the team. So it's a fairly weak Crystal Palace side. But let's start the point of view from Chelsea's point of view on the ball. So one of the things I saw, and I like that about Crystal Palace, when Chelsea went into the 4-2-3-1, right? One of the things that you could see was the fact that Chelsea wanted a lot of mobility on the ball, a lot of mobility in build-up, without the ball in the final third in between the lines. It was a very good one. And given the fact that Crystal Palace are without some very important players, it is very, very likely that they are going to sit in a low block, in a mid block. They are going to sit in a 5-4-1 without the ball. They will try to shuffle it, and then they will use the pace of two people from outside. They use Jordan Ayew from outside. They use Jeffrey Schlupp also from outside. And then, of course, up top is going to be Jean-Philippe Mateta. That will lead the lines for them. It's very important. They will stack up the back. Henderson and Anderson and the likes will lead that charge over there for them. And then Tyre Mitchell will always consistently, once you see the ball, look at unleashing Jordan Ayew into this left-hand side of Chelsea's defense, who then want to find Jean-Philippe Mateta in this. Of course, Jeffrey Schlupp has the pace to also break anytime that there is a turnover from Chelsea's build-up play. And that's how Chelsea have suffered against some of the big teams. I guess some of the less fancy teams, actually, this season in the English team. Now, Chelsea expected to go into a 4-2-3-1. Of course, Bedlashile, the Sassi, Bedlashile looks like he may not start, but Leverkusen is back. So either Bedlashile, Thiago Silva. I'll tell you, I don't think Thiago Silva should be in this game. Of course, Gusto and then Benjamin Chilwell are going to be at the two fullbacks. Enzo, Moise Caicedo over there, very important. Then the two wingers. The last game against Villa, Noni Madueke was excellent. I think he still gets the start. And then Chelsea had Nicholas Jackson, very, very good. Now, Nicholas Jackson's importance is the fact that anytime Chelsea are defending, they go into a mid-block and it's a 4-4-2. Now, one of the things that Chelsea suffered very well in those games against Liverpool and even the one after against Wolves was the fact that the wingers were not tracking back. And that's one of the issues. You want to help win balls when you go back. You need wingers to track back so that fullbacks or wingers don't isolate your fullbacks 1v1 in this zone like that. You want a 2v1 when your winger comes back to deal with it. And that's very imperative. And Noni Madueke was good at it in that game against Aston Villa. And then, of course, Nicholas Jackson's overall output in terms of play, his crossing, setting up a goal in that first game that Chelsea played in. And then again, he's scoring a goal from the left-hand side himself and then helping in terms of the defensive contribution is very important. So I expect that to be the same. Cole Palmer in there and then Conor Gallagher. Very, very important. I mean, I think Conor should start, but during the rest of the game, there will be the need to introduce Kani Chukwuemeka. Ideally, this is a game where Kani Chukwuemeka should be starting so you can break down Palace easily from get-go. Because if you have Cole Palmer, who is the attacker for Chelsea, and then Crystal Palace are sitting in a 4-5-1, you want when Enzo Fernandez picks the ball. So first, let's talk about the build-up. One of the things you realize is that in Chelsea's build-up, they used Benjamin Chilwell. Benjamin Chilwell was asked to move up. I mean, he was asked to be a fullback, just run. And then Chelsea was split into a battery with Malo Gusto here. 3 French centre-backs, 3 French defenders, helping in terms of build-up over here. Noni Madueke was also gone. Now, Moise Caicedo will do the job from the right-hand side. And it was a double pivot, so it was a 3-2 base over here for Chelsea in terms of building up. Enzo Fernandez got on the ball more times than he has been this season, and that's the importance of Enzo Fernandez. When he receives the ball in this zone on the left-hand side, then easily he has pass options in Benjamin Chilwell. My issue, however, is that Chelsea should find a way not to have their fullbacks always every time. In this case, Benjamin Chilwell hugging the touchline. There should be some invertedness in this area for him to receive the ball so that he can receive at any turn. At this point in time, he receives the ball at the touchline, closes down, and then he's in trouble a little bit if he doesn't have a quick feet or if he's not fast enough to turn around and play for them. That's a very, very important part of Chelsea's game. And Enzo was important at it. Enzo has to be important. In this game as well, you're expecting to do that build-up job from the left-hand side here so that Moise Caicedo will be here. It helps give them that security on the ball in this zone and there are no turnovers. You realize that some of the goals that Chelsea have considered in recent times are when Moise Caicedo receives the ball here and then he is being closed down. And that's going to happen again in the middle of the park, using Wharton and Hoods and Lemma, especially for Hughes. Very, very aggressive player here. And anytime Caicedo takes a heavy touch or receives with his back to go here, he'll be closed down. So you need it to be a double pivot here. So when Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo is closed down here, you go to the left-hand side here. If this area is coagulated here, then you go to the right-hand side here. It's important that Chelsea have different variations in build-up, and the double pivot is excellent instead of just a single pivot of just Moise Caicedo. That may be a little bit detrimental when Crystal Palace are very good from the turnovers, can unleash Schlupp, can unleash Jordan Ayew here. It's very important for you not to do that. Now, it is the progressive part of the game that's going to be a little important. How to break down Crystal Palace. It's a 4-5-1. You need a 3-2-5 here, like what Chelsea needed. So over here, Benjamin Chilwell and then and then Nicholas Jackson. Either of them would have to come inside. I think most of the time it's going to be Nicholas Jackson, who is a striker, so would love to come inside here. And then of course Conor Gallagher will be here. His job is to try to play those pitch balls in between the lines. Sometimes it becomes Cole Palmer who comes here so that Conor can run in behind. And then of course Madueke has excellent 1v1 here. It's important that Chelsea do a very good job, especially. Now, one of the things I saw in the last few games I wasn't happy about when Gusto and then Madueke were playing was the fact that Gusto likes to keep the weight, Madueke likes to keep the weight. So both of them were almost hugging the touchline. And I saw something against Aston Villa that I was excited about. Madueke now tends to understand how Gusto wants to play his game and tend to vary his run, tend to vary his play. And in that goal that Gusto set up, someone in the box, what Madueke did was that he came short rather. Instead of staying out wide, he came short here so that he could receive here. Once he received here, then Gusto did the overlapping run in this side, played the ball through to him, the cross came in, and then Chelsea got a goal. And that was exciting. I'm expecting stuff like that. And I think one of the things Chelsea have not done particularly well this season, it is counter pressing. When the counter pressing fails and you get into a mid block, Chelsea don't seem to be able to. So Chelsea without the ball sitting a 4-4-2 like this. One of the things I've seen this season that's not been good is when the counter pressing fails and Chelsea go into a mid block like that. One, the centre backs have issues with the pace. I mean, it's a big issue with Chelsea in terms of centre back. And that big issue, however, is that Moise Caicedo and even more for Enzo Fernandez, they don't tend to be able to block passing lanes well. They don't want to be able to block passing lanes well. And that's something you need to do very well as a midfielder, as in the defensive side of the game. Chelsea don't tend to block passing lanes. So yes, you want to counter press and win the ball high up the pitch. But when the ball comes into this zone, you want to be able to block passing lanes. And that's something Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo are doing. Be able to block passing lanes without the ball, prevent the turnovers, prevent Crystal Palace from unleashing Jordan and then Jeffrey Shaw, the two Ghanaians, are in a good place, and also break them down. And I think that there are parts of the game where Kane Chukwuemeka will be needed to break down the stubborn Crystal Palace back five. I think that these are exactly the tactical outputs that Chelsea need to put out. They do this, and for me, they win the game easily at the Selhurst Park and continue that run against Crystal Palace. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you don't subscribe to the channel. Excited to hear from you. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.